Thank you. Hello, David. Did you hear about the guy who swallowed a bunch of Scrabble tiles? He's been experiencing a lot of... That's good, dude. That's good stuff. I love it. I love it. Oh, it's good. Rain chances are getting a little bit better. I would definitely have the umbrella handy and postpone a car wash unless you really need it. Hey, Marcy. How are you? How are you? Happy Monday. Bill Taylor here, Ken's 5 Digital Center. Evening blessings on you and yours. Hope God's peace is finding you where you are. I was just so excited. I was writing an email I wanted to tell you about to our Ken's Guests email group. I don't know if that's the right word because I don't know who gets that email, but the important people, I know security does for sure, and probably some management. We always, anyone that's coming up to the station, we got to let them know, right? So tomorrow, the reason I'm telling you all this, tomorrow, I'm excited to meet a former contestant on Big Brother from San Antonio, Adrian Rocha. I don't know if you watch Big Brother, but if you do, you'll know who he is. He was voted off Big Brother, I want to say week 3 or 4, and we're going to have him on Raining Threes, the big podcast with Nate Ryan and myself. It's fantastic. I don't know if you've caught Raining Threes yet, but we get a good sit-down conversation with some of the most interesting people, the most fun people. We've had UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor. We've had former news anchor Leslie Mouton. What an extraordinary person. Phenomenal story. We've had Sean Elliott, one of my favorite Spurs for sure. Fantastic person, great human being, and I love talking to him. I want to have him back, actually. Going to have him back. April Ann Sear's been on. In fact, the episode that dropped, I'm looking at Ken's 5 Plus right now. So you can go to Ken's 5 Plus or YouTube, our Ken's 5 YouTube channel to watch these Raining Threes. Tommy Calvert, County Commissioner Tommy Calvert. I don't know if you've ever heard of how much this man's accomplished, but he's our Bexar County Commissioner, and we are grateful. We are grateful that we've got this man here in San Antonio. I promise you. This man is phenomenal. Phenomenal. So, yeah, tune in for that one, and you will be blessed. I promise. You will be blessed. But, yeah, tomorrow we're going to shoot an episode with Mr. Adrian Rocha. I'm anxious to hear about the Big Brother experience. Hello, Terry. Good to see you. Hey, Kyler. Glad you're here. So temps are still pretty warm tonight, but that's normal. It's August 25th. Let's take a look at where am I here on the afternoon highs today. And you'll see that things were pretty seasonal. I think about this summer, and it's really not that bad. considering what happened 2 years ago, what happened 3 years ago, it really isn't that bad. We hit 98. Floresville hit a triple digit with Catula. And we had, boy, awfully close at Del Rio and Pleasanton, 94 Kerrville, 91 Rock Springs, 98 the state capital. And I bet it, didn't feel like much more than what you're seeing here today. And when I say that, I mean the heat index. There was only really Seguin. No, it was Port Lavaca. Port Lavaca got up to 105 on the heat index today, down on the coast. But the rest of the area did not even see a triple-digit heat index. And then our dew point in the afternoon dropped to 58. That made all the difference. So our 6 p.m. temperature of 98 felt like 97, or was 97 feeling like 96, I think. New Braunfels is here. Angie, good to see you. The heart of Comal County. I don't think there'll be thunderstorms tomorrow, Kyler. I'll show you the future radar. I think these are just going to be some sea breeze showers that are going to kind of limp into our area. Might see a few thunderstorms on the coast. Like deep South Texas got some really heavy rain today. Let's get to the radar now that we're talking about it. And those, as they move northwest, begin to really weaken. And so I think that's what's going to happen tomorrow, is that we'll see some of these downpours kind of limp into the area and really won't be thunderstorms by the time they get to Bexar County. So I'm going to 3D this guy and show you that we got a good scattering of thunderstorms between Corpus Christi and Laredo, Brownsville and McAllen. Nothing severe, nothing that caused any flooding concern because they were on the move. But we'll see a little bit more of this a little bit higher up the Texas coast on Tuesday and Wednesday, both with a good chance. I'll say a chance. I don't know if good is the operative word for 20%, but that's all I'm going to put on it for the next 2 days, is a 20% chance a few of these showers make it up to the city. What's up with this cold front? Okay, first off, Karen, this cold front has been getting so much attention, and it's not worth mentioning. It's not going to, first off, it won't reach us. Second off, it's not going to drop temperatures as advertised. And over the weekend, I don't look at any model data unless we're expecting something huge. And so we weren't, and I didn't look at anything, and I'm hearing a lot of chatter about, cold front's coming, a cold front's coming. Oh boy, it's going to be cold, or it's going to be colder, it's going to be chill. So I was hearing a lot of that, and then I looked at everything today, and it's just not going to be too impressive. North Texas, not even North Texas is going to see necessarily a cool down. But boy, early on, it was looking that way, but reality is there's just not a whole lot of cold air just yet to make it this far south. So let's take a gander at the future radar picture so I can give you an idea as to what we're expecting Tuesday, Wednesday. There's DeAndre. How are you? When it comes to thunderstorms or severe weather, could you please give a percentage of possible hail, or just say yes or no on hail? I can always dry my vehicles off, but I'm not a dent repairman. Thank you. Absolutely. I'll do what I can, my man. No problem. All right. Moving into Tuesday. Notice that the clouds roll in early. So we start cloudy, and even a few showers if you're going to be heading down towards the coast or close to Victoria. You can see a couple of showers near Cuero, Kennedy, Karnes City, Goliad early. But we really don't see things bubble up until we get that afternoon heat. So it starts as early as about 1 or 2 p.m. But notice again, this is almost the stopping point. There's one little downpour over Sabinal in between Hondo and Uvalde at 7 p.m. So yeah, we could get 1 or 2, maybe brief thunderstorms. And there's Wednesday, same. We start cloudy, okay? A couple coastal showers or just inland, and then it moves up into the city with daytime heating popping off a few more. So again, really nothing expected widespread on thunderstorms. Can't rule one out, but highly unlikely. Most of this will be weakening on its approach, and we'll get a couple of showers out of it as they kind of limp into the area. Jared, how much rain? 1/10 of an inch, honestly. It's not even worth, a 1/4 of an inch. These showers are so quick, we're not going to see much in the gauge. You're very welcome, DeAndre. Absolutely. Okay, San Antonio or Converse, absolutely. Yeah, no hail producers in the foreseeable future. Never mind tomorrow. So we're not too concerned. Not concerned at all. Moving into these Tuesday, Wednesday rain chances. And excuse me, it's a little early to say that for the Labor Day weekend rain. There's not that it's a washout. Right now we're running a 30% chance. The models have been in agreement that we're going to see a little bit of rain on Saturday, Sunday, and even Labor Day Monday. Yeah, Grace, right on cue, right? So right now we're running 30%. We'll get into some high resolution data midweek, and we'll be fine-tuning that weekend forecast for you, because I know a lot of interest is for Labor Day weekend with travel and plans you're making. We will definitely be keeping a very close eye on that. Oh, speaking of a close eye, we can show you the tropics. And I want to give you an idea what's happening here. We've got Fernand, okay? Tropical storm, central, well, I'll call it the West Central Atlantic, is not expected to strengthen and do much of anything. In fact, let's just see what the cone looks like. The cone takes Fernand just farther northeast as a tropical storm, not strengthening, not in a very conducive environment there in that West Central Atlantic. And then the other spot the National Hurricane Center had tagged is towards the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, south of Puerto Rico. That complex of thunderstorms there showed early signs of development, but now they've completely dropped any chance of that turning into Gabrielle. Gabrielle would be the next named storm, and that's not expected to be it. And if you look farther east towards Africa, we are clear. Even the intertropical convergence zone is quiet, which is rare. So without much of any activity there, looks like we're going to be quiet in the tropics. You're welcome, Grace. No, Kyler, I don't think there's any. Well, again, it's early to really answer those kind of questions, but it's unlikely. Let's put it that way. I would be shocked if the SPC came out with a excessive rainfall chance on what we're looking at. But as we get into better model data by Wednesday is going to be like, okay, now we're looking at, yeah, maybe there is a chance of some thunderstorms and localized flooding. Not saying that right now. Right now we've got a 30% chance of rain because we've got good model agreement on global models, okay? Those are bigger ones that go to a 25 to 30 kilometer grid. So a lot can change as you start narrowing your focus with high resolution data on Wednesday, Thursday. All that to say, it's still possible but not probable. Paula, tomorrow and Wednesday, Paula, just a couple of pop-up showers, nothing to cancel plans over. Measurable rain, Jared. I think Labor Day weekend. Those will be. It's a bit more of a coverage on the rain and could be more measurable. Tomorrow and Wednesday, 1/10 of an inch. I don't think we get much more than that if it happens. We're just kind of getting back into a bit more of a typical summer pattern where the high is going to flex itself a little bit more and we see drier days. Not necessarily hotter days, but we'll definitely be above seasonal average in the coming days, which is going to mean upper 90s, some heat index values of about 102, 103. Saturday morning, oh, you're ready, Sylvester, a little bit of football. It's going to be fine because most of anything that does develop over the weekend even is going to probably be heat driven as far as the better chances of the rain. Again, it's early. We'll get better data as we get into especially Wednesday. So stay tuned because that's a changing forecast. But right now, I would say we'd lean towards the afternoon with the heating to get a bit more widespread on rainfall. Not for sure. Kyler, 20% chances Tuesday, Wednesday. Hola, Lucy. ¿Cómo estás? Good to see you. David stayed up all night wondering where the sun went. Then it dawned on you. Yeah, see? It's like the old Stephen Wright joke. I stayed up late last night trying to round off Infinity. Remember Stephen Wright? He was like the real deadpan delivery. And he would just, I stayed up late trying to round off infinity. And that was his whole delivery. Stephen Wright. I wonder if he's still alive. Older comic. I'm trying to think of some of the other. Yeah, nothing big on the future, Kyler. Just not yet. This last front, let me show it to you. It did get a lot of attention, but it's not going to do much. It's not going to get much farther south than where it is now. Here we are. And you can see there's some cooler air behind it for Amarillo and Oklahoma City. Some of that is rain cooled, but they're in the mid 60s. In fact, Oklahoma City was in the upper 60s this afternoon. And Amarillo was in the lower to mid 70s this afternoon. So there was some cooler air there, but there wasn't much after that. We just didn't see it. And so this front probably gets to the big country, north of the hill country, not too much farther south than where you see it tonight. And then it stalls out tomorrow, and by Tuesday night, Wednesday, retreats as a warm front and dissipates without any real impact on San Antonio. It will not move through San Antonio. Jorge, does the weather ever affect your mood? Yes, there's been studies done, Jorge, where pressure changes can affect people's mood, and cloud cover affects people's mood. I mean, the mood in which you're in can really be, I don't think it's, determined, but it can have an effect. And pressure is a big one, with high pressure and low pressure. Those pressure changes can really make a difference. And they always say, especially with children, that kids get more rambunctious in a high pressure environment. Remember, air pressure is the same inside and outside. So teachers will tell you inside the classroom, the kids are just real rambunctious today, a lot more energy. That's typically on high pressure days where we've got clear blue skies and a lot of, high pressure, heavier air. Lighter, more buoyant air, low pressure, more clouds, more rain, and they're a little less rambunctious. There's been some talk of that before. I'm sure there's been some studies done. And then the other part, not so much, well, it would affect your mood if you got a migraine, right? But I always think about pressure changes, and I sympathize with people who suffer with migraine headaches. Those are triggered by pressure changes. And so that can set your mood off. I could see that. Hard to say, Kyler, not really in the forecast yet. I mean, we can look ahead on, global models a few weeks and say, oh, I see one, September 13th, but, those models, that can all change tomorrow. So I don't go down that road. All right, here's the road we're going down now, though. The 14-day forecast. And you only get it at Ken's 5. Beautiful San Antonio. Doesn't it look gorgeous? Again, I tell you the reason I really at first fought hard. Not fought hard. It wasn't as though anyone was saying, hey, we're going to go to a 10-day or a 14-day forecast. I really, I remember when I started in this business, it was a 5-day forecast. We started with 5. And then you said, and I say you collectively as the viewer, wanted to see a weekend. And so we went to a 7-day forecast to guarantee you were always going to see a weekend on the extended outlook, right? And I was like, okay, and then I started seeing it. I first saw it at the original station where I started in this business, Lake Charles, Louisiana, KPLC, went to a 14-day forecast. And I was like, are they crazy? 14 days, so much can change. Why would we even do that? So I was on that camp, okay? But in recent, years, when the internet and the social media platforms and your accessibility to meteorology and to model data that you can, find yourself, showed us that you can find this, and we have access to it as well. So why not show it to you? Why not give you at least an idea? Now, yes, those days like, let's say, September 5th, 6th, and 7th, that weekend of the 6th and 7th can change a lot between now and then. But that's what we're here for. Right now, this is the idea that we're given thus far. With the model data we have, it says it's going to be partly cloudy, 95 Saturday, 97 Sunday. On the 6th and 7th, I'm talking about. Well, yeah, a lot can change, so stay tuned, right? But fact is, if we have this info, why not share it with you? So, yeah, you'll see that the rain chances are minimal isolated showers Tuesday, Wednesday, seasonal temps. And then as we get hotter, that's because the high is going to flex its muscle a little bit, and we drop rain chances Thursday. Bring them back 10% Friday, so it's not probable. It's maybe a quick shower, but it improves on Saturday, Sunday, Labor Day, Monday, 30% chance. Okay, and then that's going to be it for a little while. Hayden, what's happening? You know what? Pumpkin spice weather, the PSW. You know what? I don't know. Tomorrow, right? Starbucks, I think what we heard and reported earlier, right?
I believe that's right.
I think the PSL is and along with some other fall drink treats.
That's right.
Yeah, they have a whole menu of them. I enjoy them. You know, it's going to be weird doing them this early. Because I love coffee, so I do some coffee drinks from different places. Like I went to one of my favorites, Texas Grounds, today in Helotes. Great coffee spot, and I did a hot coffee because it was about 10 o'clock, and I was going to stay inside there. But usually I do an iced coffee, so because it's hot, right? And so I'm just not. That's why it just doesn't add up yet that I can be sipping something pumpkin flavored and it's in the upper 90s out there. You know, that's just a hard thing to imagine right now. Texas weather, no kidding, brother. And she is beautiful, Kyler. I'm with you on that. I love our city. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap things up on a Monday night. I love you. Thanks for joining me. And I hope you can join us for Ken's 5 News at 10. God bless you and have an awesome night and an even better Tuesday.